Hey guys, what's going on? So this is SITREP 34. That's about 32. It's been around since the 24th of April. But I had this is the crab cakes and rock and roll, same one I had up. But I had that song in there from Jeffrey Gaines, and when I went to publish the video, YouTube gave me a hard time because I had a copyright infringement or something like that. So I know eventually they're probably going to take the video down, and I don't want to lose the content because I actually had a lot of good stuff in this video. So I decided to take out the beginning part, which was the intro of him playing that song, and then the whole end of the song the end of the video where he was playing the song. Right, so that's all it is, and I just crunched everything together. So the rest of the video is the same, except there's no Jeffrey Gaines playing. So that's it, guys. Just cleaning things up, all right? Thanks. Bye.
Ho ho, everybody, what is going on? That was the rock and roll portion of the show. That intro music was a cover of Your Eyes by Jeffrey Gaines, who I was turned on to years ago, decades ago, by a friend in Syracuse, New York. Jeffrey's from the Harrisburg, Pennsylvania area. And it just so happens this summer he has toured the Northeast, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania. So if you're so inclined, make sure you check him out. Support your local musicians. So this is SITREP number 32. Wow. SITREP 32. And it is the 24th of April, 2020. Yeah, I'm using my notes. So it's kind of gloomy here in Central Florida today. But we get what we call free pool water. Free water for the pool, so we don't have to fill it up using the hose. So there's a positive side to it. I'm going to get right into the the cancer portion of the show here. So symptoms, I've been feeling a little bit of fatigue lately. It's kind of like, seems like when I close my eyes, or I don't know, I just feel kind of tired a little bit. Sometimes more than others, but it's not real bad. Not nearly as bad as it was when I was going through chemo. Saliva gland is getting better. I'm gonna say it's probably, I don't know, maybe 65% or so, 70%, maybe even a little more than that. My mouth still gets dry. I still have to sip water when I'm eating something, but it is slowly getting better. My taste buds are even coming back. They are, I mean, for the most part, it's still like when I take that first bite, it's the best bite, and then it's still like my taste buds kind of get, burnt out, I guess I want to say. But I can taste food. I can taste the meal a little bit more as I'm going through the meal, as opposed to a month ago. After the first bite, it was not bad, but it wasn't good. I was just kind of getting through it. So, updates. So my surgery is scheduled. It's coming up for this Tuesday. Well, it's coming Tuesday. Today's what? Today's Friday. So 4 days from now, at like 11 or 11:30 in the morning. So I got to show up a couple hours early, go through the whole, get into the funky, button-up gown and all that. Just open up in the back gown. Can't stand those things. They haven't changed in 80 years. I don't know why I don't update them. The good news, I mean, part of this whole COVID thing, they're not doing elective surgeries. So, it's getting time in the operating rooms, these days is pretty easy. So they can get you in pretty quick. But so this is kind of an interesting thing. So, yeah, I've been going to the hospital, getting whatever. Like this past Monday, I had to go and get an EKG, and so you walk in the door. I had a mask on, of course. I had to go there. You walk in the door, and they make you put the stuff on your hands and all that. But a lot of it's been telephonic stuff, right? So they call me up. I get a call from the civilian hospital yesterday, and they're like, she said something about COVID screening, and I'm like, yeah, okay. we're gonna do it telephonically, whatever. And she's like, when's gonna be, good for you? It's like, how about Saturday? And I'm like, the weekend? I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever, that's fine. It's like, 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, no, not on a Saturday. I'm not, no. So we decided on 10:30. And then she starts giving me directions, and I'm like, wait a second. Like, this is COVID screening, right? She's like, yeah. And I'm like, I have to go there for this? And she's like, yeah. So I totally misunderstood what the intent was, right? This is an actual, the swab in your nose thing. So it's a drive-through, just like you've been seeing on the news. So she gives me directions, tells me where to go in the parking lot to stop. Don't get out of the vehicle. Then somebody will wave me forward. You go up there, just roll down the window. Nobody gets out of the car. They just do the swab thing, and yeah, it's the real deal. So that's happening Saturday morning, and like I said, I go in for the surgery on Tuesday, so that gives them a couple days to get the results back. But I'm thinking, okay, that's cool. I mean, I'm all about, I want to verify that, I don't have this thing living somewhere in me. And it's good. It's awesome, to protect the medical workers. I get to thinking, I'm like, what about all my nurses and all that? What, are they getting the test like every day? Because they could go home and get exposed, right? So, no, I doubt it. So they're not getting tested. We have to depend on the medical workers that they'll do the right thing if they get the symptoms, right? And they'll self-isolate. But I'm like, yeah, dude, wait a second. I'm doing, you're making me go through stuff to protect you. What are you doing to protect me? Food for thought, right? Not that obviously medical workers wouldn't do anything intentionally to harm you, but I mean, it was kind of like, yeah. Anyway. So, there's that. I thought that was weird. So one of the things that the civilian surgeon wanted was a cardio clearance, right, for me. Even though they did an EKG, they want to hear from my primary doctor that I'm clear. So, I like I said before, I already pinged the VA, and I'm like, I didn't know it was for cardio. The civilian hospital just told me that they need some paperwork from the VA, and they have a difficult time getting that kind of stuff from the VA. So that's why I already pinged the VA, and I kind of beat them up, said, hey, get this squared away, right? Well, then I get a call from the VA, and they're like, hey, yeah, these guys want a cardio screening. Blah, blah, blah. When was the last time you in? My primary didn't call me. A PA that's standing in for her called me. And so I don't know where my primary is, but that's a little disconcerting all in itself. But anyway, bottom line is a cardiac doc from the VA ended up calling me, and I basically get a cardio screening by telephone. So he didn't have the EKG results from the civilian doc that I did this week. I couldn't remember when the last time I did an EKG for the VA was, but I mean, after all the stuff I just went through in the last 6 months, I know I did one. So they're going to try and dig that up, and then at least have some kind of data that they can review and say, yeah, it looks like you're clear for surgery. So I thought that was kind of funny, though. I'm getting cleared for cardiology by telephone, right? Oh wow. But anyway, so the VA has been pretty supportive, and so has everybody else. I mean, I talked to my work, and they've been really cool and supportive. And they're working with me, so I appreciate that. Jan, thank you very much if you're watching, and my whole team too. And then also, the family's been cool. All my friends and my old Army buddies have been cool and supporting me, including some Department of the Army civilians that the guys I work with, both local and Arizona and all that, Aberdeen and all that stuff. So thanks, guys. I appreciate the support. I really do. So I want to share with you kind of a personal moment. So there's all kinds of stuff that kind of runs through your head when you're going through this, right? Just all kinds of manner of stuff, right? And one of the risks that my civilian surgeon had told me was that, you know, I remember I talked about the last sit rep about the bundle of nerves that runs through your throat, and one of those is for taste, right? So after losing my taste since Thanksgiving, so it's been, you know, the better part of 6 months where I haven't, my sense of taste hasn't been right. Technically on Tuesday I could lose my sense of taste for the rest of my life. So I'm thinking, man, that would suck. I mean, so what came to mind was this place called G&M Seafood, or G&M Restaurant. It's in Linthicum Heights, Maryland, right outside of Baltimore. Which and they serve crab cakes. They don't just serve crab cakes; they serve dynamic crab cakes. I'm talking about. I mean, I'm from Boston in the Cape Cod area originally, so you know I've had some pretty daggone good seafood in my life, right? These crab cakes are off the chain. I mean, here's some pictures of them. These are 8-ounce, half-pound lump crab meat. And there's videos out there. I mean, this place, statistically, here's some stats on G&M. They go through, now this is from a video in 2005. They go through 5,000 to 6,000 pounds of crab meat a week. A week. So they make about 10,000 crab cakes a week. That was 5 years ago. I mean, it is insane. And these things are so daggone good. Now, the caveat is they're almost 20 bucks a piece for these things, and to have them shipped is another 40. So my brother is a huge seafood fan. My daughter likes seafood. My wife doesn't. So I got 3 of these things. So bottom line, 100 bucks. But you know what? Again, so this is gonna you know, check the block for me. If I'm losing my sense of taste, potentially I'm going out with a bang, and I'm getting the best, baby, the best. So, there's that. What else? Oh, and those come today. So, yum! So, I looked around. I actually called G&M to find out what kind of roll they use, because, so I do some work at Aberdeen Test Center, Aberdeen Proving Grounds in Maryland, and that's how a coworker turned me on to G&M. So, I've actually been to G&M restaurant in Linthicum Heights, whatever, and I always get the crab cake sandwich. So I actually called G&M to find out what kind of roll they use. It's a brioche, and I looked around here in Orlando, and I couldn't find any place that had it. Actually, one place had them, the Orlando Baking Company, but 2 problems with that. A, they only do wholesale to like restaurants, and B, the Orlando Baking Company is in Cleveland, Ohio. Yeah, apparently Orlando is the family name of the family that runs the bakery, so that's my luck. So I'm going to have to go to Publix and settle for some hamburger or some whatever roll. I hope it does it justice, because if it doesn't, it's coming off the roll, baby, and I'm eating it right off the plate. So that's it. So hey, that's all I got for this one, guys. I probably won't do another one until after the surgery. I didn't mention I think I'm gonna have a drain hanging out of my neck too. So and it might affect my speech for a couple of days. So it might be a week or more before you hear from me again. But keep the prayers coming. I appreciate it. And we're gonna out this with some more Jeffrey Gaines and finish up Your Eyes. So enjoy, and we'll talk to you guys soon. All right, take it easy.